Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jayo Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe Radhe, Jayo Radha Radha Madhava, Radhe Radhe, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Krishna Balaram, 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 Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Panna Narasimha, Jaya Panna Narasimha, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Dharam Chai Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayath Nasta Presha Udareshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavade Naistiki Om Jnana Timirandasya Salataya Chaturamaljana Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Marupestam Salpunyanam Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gramayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuktapadamanam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sadevam Sarvitam Savrutam Varijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakam Tamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanda Radha Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusude Devi Pranamani Hari Priya Vanchakapaturu Vijayapasudeva Jaya Patinam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishwadaya Krishna Krishna Sri Srite Jagata Krishna Murti Nama Acharya Pranitaya Kriptani Gauragatadam Dayam Vidram Mukam Karoti Vacham Pavlayati Dimyat Kripa Tamam Mande Sri Guru Taranam Paramam Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwar. Hare Krishna everybody, welcome to today's Srimad Bagavatam class. Thank you for coming. Thank you for attending. All those online. Yeah, good. So at least can say. Today we're doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 56. Chapter entitled The Shamataka Jewel, Text 26. Please repeat after me. Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Vishnum Purana Purusam.
Vishnu Purana Purusham.
Vishnum Purana Purusham.
Vishnu Purana Purusham.
Prabha Vishnum Adishwaram.
Prabha Vishnu Adishwaram.
Prabha Vishnum Adishwaram.
Prabha Vishnu Adishwaram.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Vishnu Purana Purusham.
Vishnu Purana Purusham.
Prabha Vishnum Adishwaram.
Prabha Vishnu Adishwaram.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Vishnum Purana Purusham.
Vishnu Purana Purusham.
Prabha Vishnum Adishwaram.
Prabha Vishnu Adishwaram.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Vishnum Purana Purusham.
Vishnu Purana Purusham.
Prabha Vishnum Adishwaram.
Prabha Vishnu Adishwaram.
Prabhuji.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutana.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutana.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Vishnu Purana Purusham.
Vishnum Purana Purusham.
Prabha Vishnu Adishwaram.
Prabha Vishnum Adishwaram.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam. Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Vishnu Purana Purusham.
Vishnu Purana Purusham.
Prabha Vishnu Adishwaram.
Prabha Vishnu Adishwaram.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Jnane Tvam Sarva Bhutanam.
Aja Sahabalam.
Prana Uja Saho Balam.
Purana Purusham.
Vishnu Purana Purusham.
Prabha Vishnu Adishwaram.
Prabha Vishnu Adishwaram. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation, Jambavan said, I know now that you are the life air, the sensory, mental and bodily strength of all living beings. You are Lord Vishnu, the original person, the supreme, all-powerful controller. I'll just read the next two translations. You are the ultimate creator of all creators of the universe, and of everything created, you are the underlying substance. You are the subduer of all subduers, the supreme Lord, the super soul of all souls. You are he who impelled the ocean to give way when his sidelong glance, slightly manifesting his anger, disturbed the crocodiles and the teeming gila fish within the water's depths. You are he who built a great bridge to establish his fame, who burned down the city of Lanka, and whose arrows severed the head of Ravana, which then fell to the ground. Hare Krishna. So today's chapter is the chapter that is continuation from Sri Dwarkadish pastimes in Dwarka. Last few chapters we heard how Krishna got Rukumani as his wife. There was at least 3 chapters there. So this chapter is also very interesting, very unusual for Srimad Bhagavatam in terms of story. This chapter you will hear how Krishna gets Satyabhama and Jamavati as his wife. So the title of this chapter is the Shamataka jewel. So we'll hear a little bit about where the Shamataka jewel came from. So these prayers are very wonderful. The ones that we just read just now, it's very, very wonderful. I know now that you are the life air of sensory, mental, and bodily strength of all living beings. You are Lord Vishnu, the original person, the supreme, all-powerful controller. This one verse alone is worth meditating upon. If you are confused as to who you are and why you are here, actually for those who are depressed, who suffer from depression, doctor here. So when those who suffer from depression, they sometimes ask, what to do. In Vedic culture, the whole Vedic culture is built around uplifting the living entity from the bodily concept of life. If you are too much engrossed in bodily concept of life, you will fall into depression and ultimately you commit suicide. Suicide can be done in more ways than one. It is not just ending of life. Suicide in Vedic scripture they use the term atmaha, the killing of the soul. That is also suicide. So the whole Vedic culture is to uplift. So one of the ways you uplift the living entity from the too much being engrossed in material life is by bowing down your head in front of the deity of the Supreme Lord. That is a very easy way. Bow down, number one. Number two is to offer prayers like this. This is a wonderful example. It removes the illusion from your mind. I know now that you are the life air, the sensory, mental, and bodily strength of all living beings. The moment the living entity think that, oh, Nandan, no, I'm the one who's doing all this, your problem start today. And your problem will manifest in the form of depression. That's the beginning stage. After that, you'll get worse. You fall into all kinds of wrong thinking. Wrong thinking will lead to wrong action. Wrong action will lead to wrong results. Wrong results will lead you to taking wrong birth. You go spiral down. So anyway, this story is very nice and very unusual. This is on the category of the last chapter we did. We heard about the story about the first child of Rukumani, Pradumna. So this story is also in that category, very interesting. So the story starts with one king by the name of Satraji. In Dwarka, there are many kings. They are like kings of their own district in Dwarka. So Dwarkadish is the most opulent one. The king is Sri Vasudeva Krishna. So this king Satrajit, he was a great devotee of the sun god Suryadev. So Suryadev, being very pleased with him, gave him this jewel called Shamataka jewel. So this Shamataka jewel, anyway, wearing this jewel, what will happen is you will be so effulgent, people will think you are Suryadev itself. And also this jewel has a very powerful effect of purifying, just like the sun. When the sun is out, no matter where the sun ray lands, that place is purified. Even if it lands on stool, that stool will be dissolved and you will become purified. Similarly, this Shamataka jewel also has the same potency. So this King Satrajit, one day he came to Dwarka, the Vasudeva Dwarka. He came there wearing this jewel, and all the citizens thought the sun god has come. So they went to inform Krishna, the sun god is here. So Krishna looked, why the sun god would want to come to Dwarka? I said, no, it's not sun god, it's Satrajit. So this Satrajit, he was a very materialistic personality. Okay, it's a very materialistic personality in the sense that he is too self-absorbed. He's so absorbed in his false ego. So this Satrajit, what he will do is he will wear his jewel regularly, simply just for fun. And everyone will bow down to him. They will think, oh, it's the sun god here. So the Satrajit, he had some qualified brahmanas worship this Samataka jewel in his home. In his home, there is a temple there. Most cultured people, they have a temple in the home. Okay. So Vedic culture is training people to become very gentlemen and gentlewomen. So the sign of somebody who's very cultured is they must have a temple at home. So this jewel was kept in this temple and is being worshipped by these brahmanas. And this jewel is so powerful, and it's so powerful that every day it will produce 170 pounds of gold. Gold is produced. So Krishna found out about this, and he says, and he thought to himself that these things like this all to possess these kind of things, actually you need to have adhikar, you need qualification, you need some kind of qualification. So out of compassion, Krishna approached this King Satrajit and told him, say, please, my dear Satrajit, take this jewel, give to King Ugrasena. King Ugrasena is a very, very highly elevated, pious king. He will take riches and he will employ them in the right way so that everybody is happy, everybody is satisfied. But when Satrajit heard this request from Krishna, he became very envious of Krishna. He said, oh, I got some opulent, you want to take this opulent away from me? No, I don't want to give. So Krishna just kept quiet. He didn't say anything. Okay. Not knowing that this Shamataka jeweler will bring you some kind of bad omen, bad karma. Because you are actually not qualified to hold these kind of things. So what happened was, shortly after that, the brother of King Satrajit, King Prince Prasena, he decided to go hunting. So he decided to wear this Shamataka jewel. So while hunting, what happened is, one tiger saw this Prasena, and this tiger attacked this Prasena and killed him. Killed this young prince Prasena. And this tiger took this jewel and went to the mountain where there is one personality by the name of Jambavan. He lives there in a cave. So one day Jambavan was walking about, just enjoying himself. He saw this tiger with this jewel that is so effulgent. He thought, what is this? What a tiger is doing with this? So he decided to fight with the tiger. The tiger died. And this Jambavan took this jewel and gave it to his child, a small child, as a toy, play toy, like what children have, cars, and girls have masa. So this child was playing with this Shamataka jewel like a toy, toy. So in the meantime, what happened was, this Prasena, because he was killed by this lion, he never came back to Dwarka. And this King Satrajit was very, very worried. He was thinking, what happened? So immediately, because of his envious nature, in his mind, he's thinking, oh, Krishna, because he asked me to give this jewel to King Ugrasena, I refused. He must have stolen it. He must have stolen the jewel. So he started a rumor in Dwarka that Krishna murdered my brother and stole the jewel. So this rumor was going around. No? So Krishna heard this, and he was very disappointed. He said, why this? I never did anything. I'm innocent in this. Why you start this rumor? So Krishna, no choice. He had to do something about it. So this is the this is actually a very what I call interesting point to note. Today's politicians, some rumors start about them means they'll just it doesn't affect me because every politician out there, all kokumaku, all like that, got story one, some true, some not true. But Vedic culture, what the Mughal think of their leaders, very important. Why? Because the main duty of a king, of a Raja, is to give liberation to his Mughal, to give them liberation, to escape from this cycle of birth and death. That is their real, what do you call, duty. Their duty bound to give liberation. But how are you going to help the Mughal get liberation when the Mughal don't want to listen to you? He has no respect for you. So Krishna was a very ideal king. His purpose was just to give liberation to all his devotees. So he couldn't afford his devotees thinking bad of him. So Krishna had to do something about it. So Krishna decided to send a search party with himself. He himself go and look for this Prince Prasena. And he brought some of his Dwarka Vasis as witness. Some ministers, some elderly persons, some very respected people. Some of them come, and they discovered. When they discovered the dead body of this Prince Prasena, they said, I say he was killed, and they found out, he must have been killed by an animal. This is not by a human being. So they followed the track of this animal, which was a lion. Follow, and they found the dead body of a lion. I said, hey, this lion killed this prince, and now this lion is dead. So how is this? So they saw there was another footprint there. I said, hey, there's another footprint there of a man here. Let's follow this. So they went to this cave. So they decided, this cave must be the place of this man who's staying here. So Krishna told the witnesses, you all wait outside the cave. I will go inside and I will do investigation. So Krishna entered the cave. So when Krishna entered the cave only, he saw the cave was effulgent, like the sun was in the cave. And he found out, the jewel is there. This Shamataka jewel is there. I've been accused of stealing this jewel. Now I found this jewel. And this jewel was being played with a toy by a small baby child. And he says, whose child is this? So he said, whatever it is, I need to take this jewel. So when Krishna approached the child to take this jewel, what happened was the babysitter, the maid servant saw Krishna. She became frightened. She screamed out, ah! So what happened was, Jambavan heard this, and he quickly ran, and he came, and he saw this Krishna. He said, who are you? Why are you here? Immediately he started to fight with this Krishna. So this Jambavan is a bear man. He's a half bear, half man. So he's a very special personality because he is one of those personalities on this material world who cannot die one. He appears, he born, he will exist until the end of this universe. And he is a pure devotee of Lord Ramachandra. He assisted Lord Ramachandra in the fight with Ravana. He helped build the bridge and all that. So he knows Lord Ramachandra very intimately, and his strength is unlimited. He has got unlimited strength. No, he cannot be defeated, or he cannot be. Nobody is more stronger in strength than this Jambavan. So when he saw Krishna, he started to attack Krishna, and Krishna fought back. This fighting went on between Krishna and Jambavan for 28 days. 28 days. Outside the cave, the witnesses all were waiting. After 12 days, he got tired already. He said, Krishna, what happened to you? We all better go back. We got no protection. We better go back. So all of them went back. The witness, the minister, everything went back to Dwarka. And they were so worried. They went to, the temple of Lord Narayana. They went to the temple of Durga Devi. They prayed to please save our Lord. These are devotees. They think of him like a friend. They don't think of him like Supreme Lord. So this is the nature of devotees. So they have their different mode. They think of him like a friend. They think of him like a child. They think of him as a son, like that. So they went to pray to Lord Narayana, please save our Lord. So when this was going on in the cave,
Jambavan was fighting and fighting and fighting with Krishna, and Jambavan is becoming tired. He was becoming exhausted. And Krishna was like that, and you relax when you're friend. So Jambavan saw, this one cannot be an ordinary being. This is not impossible. This is impossible. Cannot be. This one must be my Lord Ramachandra. When he realized that, he offered these three prayers. It's very, very wonderful actually to meditate upon. So he said, my dear Lord, you can be no other than my Lord Ramachandra. So that's when Krishna revealed himself. He showed himself as Lord Ramachandra. And then he said, yes. So, and Jambavan felt very, very bad. He said, my dear Lord, please forgive me. I fall at your feet. Please take this jewel. You came because of this, isn't it? You please take this jewel, and also you take my daughter. His daughter saw Krishna, and immediately she wanted him as her husband. Father saw this also and said, why should I be, the person preventing this? It's my dear Lord himself. My daughter want to give. So he gives Jambavati. And it is stated here actually, the real purpose for all this pastime is to get Jambavati as wife. Why? Because she is not different from Lakshmi Devi. Okay. So this pastime over already. Krishna went back to Dwarka with new wife, Jambavati. He went back. So the Dwarka Vasis were so happy. They were so happy. My Lord came back. Some more beautiful wife. Wow. So after Krishna came back, he called all the kings, including this King Satrajit, and he explained to them. There were witnesses there. Yes, we saw the dead body of the young prince killed by a lion, and then we discovered the dead body of a lion. It's not that someone went in to murder him and all that. So when King Satrajit heard this, he felt very, very ashamed. He felt very, very ashamed. And Krishna took this Shamataka jewel and gave it to him back. He said, this jewel belongs to you. You please take it back. When Satrajit got this diamond and this jewel and he went back, he was feeling so ashamed. He decided in his mind, I must make amends with Krishna. I have to. I got no choice. I have to make amends with Krishna. He decided to give his daughter. Who is his daughter? His daughter is Satyabhama. Satyabhama. He decided to give his daughter to Krishna in marriage, and also he wanted to give the jewel to Krishna. Krishna said, you give me your daughter, no problem. I like your daughter. I like your daughter, but the jewel you keep, I am not interested. Because of this jewel, and so many talavali came to me. He said, you keep this one. I don't want. Okay. So this story here actually is very instructive. There are a lot of things we can talk about here. First thing is the real reason why Krishna allowed this pastime to happen is the real reason actually to get Satyabhama and Jambavati as his wife. These two actually his pure devotee lifetime after lifetime. He came to rescue them. And this Satyabhama especially is very, very interesting personality. She got a very interesting personality in the sense that her love for Krishna is very fierce, rumba fierce, Kshatriya love, in the sense that she get upset very often. She barajo lah. The Malays say, the girl, the wife will barajo, and Krishna likes this. Of all the things he liked the wife to be barajo. He likes this, and he will control her. Krishna will control her because of this one what called, can't say flaw. It's her charmingness. It's her character. So this is the real reason why this pastime happened. And second thing we can learn from this pastime is this nature of those who are too materially attached. This King Satrajit. The reason why, when I read this story, I can't help but think of the time when when we go and preach. Sometimes we will hear somebody will tell us, I say, hey, don't go and worship Krishna. You worship Krishna means problem will come. They'll say that. But actually, that's not the truth. The real truth of the story is Because of your bad karma from your past life, Krishna knows that you're going to suffer very soon. Therefore, Krishna has come to help you. And I've seen this happen many, many times in my Bhakti Riksha, in my preaching. Shortly after I come, I start to preach to them, something will happen in their life. Some of them, if they are fortunate enough, they have enough intelligence, they will take shelter of Krishna even more serious determination. Those who are not intelligent, they will listen to their Tata Patti, and they will hear things like, oh, don't worship Krishna, you worship Krishna, any problem come. And usually if they have enough intelligence, they'll open their mouth, they'll ask me, hey, my Tata Patti say like that, how? Huh? Then my answer is very simple only. Say, your Tata Patti worship which god? Usually it's Muruga or Durga lah. Usually lah. So I'll ask them, you are trying to tell me those who worship Muruga and Durga Devi, they got no problems. They don't fall sick. Then what? You think for yourself. So this is the answer. So when I hear this story about Krishna approaching Satyajit, and he's giving him advice, says, my dear sir, you take this jewel, please give to King Ugrasena. Ugrasena is a very, very pious king. Actually, what Krishna is saying is, I'm trying to save you. Because of your envious nature, you actually don't have the adhikar, the qualification to hold on to something as powerful as this Shamataka jewel. Okay. Many years ago, I read one of these books on crime, crime, unsolved crime. So there's one story there about one jewel from India. It was stolen from a temple, a Durga temple. It's a very big diamond. From there, the British they went to England and went to the Queen. The Queen sold it to somebody, then somebody sold it to somebody. This diamond is so powerful. Wherever this diamond goes, there'll be a disaster there. Somebody will die, somebody will fall sick, and this is the history of this stone. It's going around, So I was thinking like that. There is such things, There's such stones, If you don't have the qualification to hold it, to own it, it will destroy you. Especially stones like diamonds. So when Krishna approached, actually he is approaching this King Satyajit to tell him, say, hello, you give this jewel, you'll be saved from some calamity. But of course, he never listened. And the result was what? His brother died. Of nobody fault. He was killed by a lion. Can you imagine if you're a hunter, you go to the jungle to hunt an animal? The whole idea behind hunting an animal is what? No. You want the animal to not know that you are there. Then you can take the arrow and you can shoot and you can kill the animal. This fellow got no brains. He wore the jewel. He became bright as the sun. He go to the jungle. Every animal will know that this guy is there. So happened his bad luck. One lion saw. I said, oh, very, very beautiful. I want that. The fellow go and makan the fellow. That fellow died. See, no brain. You see, this is his bad karma. That is number one. Number two, because of this envious nature of those who are too attached to sense gratification, they have this tendency to become envious, and out of enviousness, they will start a rumor. Starting the rumor business is a very dangerous business, especially now in Kali Yuga. I see how dangerous it is, but I see like people don't seem to understand. And of course, a lot of people in this age are very envious. So the question might be asked, why, what's wrong? If I feel, in my mind, I think, oh, this must have happened. What's wrong if I voice out? I have to tell you a story behind this. Once there was a king, a very pious king. Out of charity, he gave in charity to some brahmanas, cows and food stuff and stuff like that. So when this king was giving some food stuff to these brahmanas, what happened was when the act of giving was done, up in the sky there was an eagle flying with a dead cobra in his claws. This eagle just killed a cobra and he was flying above. So while they were flying above, this dead cobra from his fangs dropped a poison. From the sky, it dropped into the bowl of that Brahmana that was receiving it as a gift from the king. So this Brahmana, what he do? He go and eat this thing from the bowl, and he died because it was a drop of poison fell into the bowl. So the king got shocked. Oh my God, what happened? And they called one sage. The sage, he meditated. He says, it's nobody's fault. This Brahmana died, nobody's fault. He explained, there's an eagle flying above. This eagle was carrying a cobra. From the cobra's fangs, one drop of poison fell out and fell into the bowl. And then he accidentally ate and he died. This is his karma. But the thing here is, this ceremony happened. It was a ceremony whereby the king was asking for some blessing, but instead this Brahman died. So their blame must be put somewhere. So the sage said, don't worry. Actually, in this situation, it's providence. It happened by providence, God's will. But since this was a ceremony, a blame must be put somewhere. Don't worry, the blame will come. How did it come? It came a few weeks after that. There was another festival. Some Brahmanas were going to this kingdom and they wanted to see the king to get donation. So this Brahmana went to one lady from the roadside and asked her, my dear mother, where is the king's palace? So this lady looked at this Brahmana and said, the king's palace is this road. You just go straight, but be careful. No, this king is a murderer of Brahmanas. So that death of that Brahmana, that sin of that came to this lady. Why? Because she uttered from her mouth as if like she know. Oh, be careful, no, this king, he killed Brahmanas one. No. She said like that. So that is spreading rumor. So if you understand the story properly, you will see that whenever you utter anything coming from your mouth out of enviousness, you see, you have to understand what is this enviousness. Enviousness is to think bad about others despite the lack of evidence or proof. This is very, very difficult for Kali Yuga. I'm telling you, I say, people, the joy in life is to gossip, to talk bad about others. But you have to understand, if you talk bad about a pious person, you're playing with fire. That's all I can say. You're playing with fire. So don't spread rumors. You don't know means say don't know. Just a few days ago, somebody asked me about something very controversial. I don't know. I said, I don't know. But you were there, what? Yes, I was there. I saw it happen. This like this, like this, like this. But why it happened, I don't know. I didn't want to get to the it can be like this, it can be like that, andaburi, vina pona, somberi, this one only must avoid. It gives you very, you get pleasure, no doubt, but the pleasure is the kind of pleasure that will haunt you. It will haunt you. I have experienced this myself. From my mouth, I said something. Somebody else heard, nothing to do with this thing. That person will go and tell somebody, that somebody will come and question me, and I was like, maybe, I don't know, maybe, I know I said it. I said, I don't know, I can't remember. So I told lie. See, I told something envious now because somebody asked me, it put me on the spot, I had to lie. Why go through all this? Better just don't say anything. Don't know means say don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, this is the lesson here. Yes. So the third lesson here is when this Jambavan, when he saw Krishna, he decided to fight with him straight away. And we know from his history, he's a pure devotee of Lord Ramachandra. I mean, how can a pure devotee not recognize his Lord? What happened here? So the answer here is that when you approach someone with some enviousness, he approached Lord Krishna in some envious mode. He thought he was there to come and hurt his child, steal the jewel, all. He was thinking like that. So his vision was covered. he did not recognize that Krishna was now not different from Lord Ramachandra. So he decided to fight. Okay. So in that fighting, what happens is, you see, not because of envious nature, because of his enviousness, a little bit of enviousness, his vision was covered. He couldn't see. And Krishna had to fight with him for 28 days. It took 28 days to whack his ego down enough for him to, hey, wait a minute, his intelligence came. When the enviousness leaves his vision, then only intelligence will come. Enviousness is an emotion. Emotion go up, intelligence come down. When the emotion go down, intelligence comes up. So it took him 28 days of getting whacked, by Krishna. Krishna whacked him and whacked him and whacked him and whacked him. And what was he whacking? Actually, he's whacking his false ego. He's whacking his false ego 28 days. And when after 28 days of Krishna whacking, you can imagine, this Jambavan, his body was aching. Ayyo, labab here, labab there. And after all this, in one class, it is described that Krishna took ointment. He go and rub on Jambavan's body because this is his devotee. Krishna's nature, he go and rub oil. Krishna's nature is so nice. After whacking, you hurt, then you rub some ointment on his body. So after what you call getting whacked by Krishna showed his mercy by showing his love for his devotee, and so that's how this Jambavan, he got his vision back. Why? Because devotees actually their purpose is actually to give pleasure to Krishna. They have no other work. They have no other purpose in life. Devotee means the one who is devoted to giving Krishna pleasure. So in this instance, what happened? Krishna arranged that I never fight for a long time. Must practice, So he got the best fighting partner, this Jambavan. He's unlimited strength. 28 days Krishna practiced. Okay, and then the fourth lesson here is this what do you call? When Satyajit knew the full story of what happened, he felt very guilty. He gave his daughter, what we call Satyabhama, to Krishna, and he wanted to give the jewel also to Krishna. Why did Krishna not accept the jewel? Why? That is the next chapter. Okay, the story continues in the next chapter. Something happens in the next chapter whereby this jewel will come to Krishna only. This jewel actually is meant for Krishna. Krishna is very famous for being the one who has this Shamataka jewel on his chest. It is celebrated throughout the whole universe. You see somebody with this Shamataka jewel, that person is Krishna. So eventually it's come. So that will be the next chapter. So you want to know the next chapter means, please attend class next week. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any comments, any Kelvigal?
That they, what do you call? You said, the Brahmanas who comes to find out, they want to look for the king. They want to, and one old lady said, part,
yeah.
Maybe this group of these Brahmanas, actually they are the what do you call? They are the Yamadutas who transform, and because they were calculating who supposed to take what you call
Karma.
this karma.
Oh.
It cannot be the date snake. The date snake cannot. It cannot
Yeah.
be the king, because the
Yes.
king never knows that he's giving.
Yes. True.
So this, he died with an incident. There must be some who must take. Okay, let's we ourselves go and find out. So they will go. When they are going, they asking that, and many people say no. And only one lady says, "Oh yes, sir. This is the way to go. But be careful, the fellow will kill Brahmanas." So like that. Now they found out. Okay, now the best person to put is this person. Whole killing of another Brahmana. The sin of killing of another Brahmana simply goes just by being open without knowing the truth and simply talking something that it is not truthful.
Yes.
So it was not the truth. The king never. Hare Krishna. The king never kills. The king never killed actually, but now actually what happened? She spoke the untruthful event, and
Yes.
they have to take it.
Yes.
Hare
So,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
devotees. How are you all, devotees? Hare Krishna. Okay.
The nice thing about this is after the class is over, you can save. It's
Yeah.
on your YouTube. Anybody want, just send the link and they can watch anytime. So this is good, lah. Zoom, you just that's it. Zoom, that's finish. Finish.
This one not Zoom.
This one on YouTube.
This one Zam.
No, this on YouTube.
Good.
Zam, Alakazam.